Dinosaurs became extinct millions of years ago. However, many people around the world claim to have seen in recent years animals very much like these prehistoric creatures. Although it may seem unlikely, the stories and accounts of these sightings never cease to amaze. In fact, many of them, when narrated by their protagonists, crossed borders, generating in equal measure incredulity and fear. Here are some of the prehistoric animals that have been seen in recent times. The Burren. This animal is described as a two-legged lizard between 8 and 10 meters high. Each leg consists of 3 toes, their arms are very short and they have a large mouth. It has been seen in the deserts of Australia for a long time and on different occasions. The sightings are related to the strange deaths of cows, camels and kangaroos. Hence, the Australian Aborigines, who have also reported several sightings, are afraid of them. During the 1950s, several ranchers reported that a huge and strange creature was devouring their cattle. But the animal's footprints were the only evidence left. Now recently, truckers on the road to the town of Stuart reported a sighting of the Burren. These reports were investigated in 2015 by a Genesis Park staff who traveled to the town to investigate the information. Despite its exhaustive search, which covered a large area, the team was unable to prove these sightings. Instead, in the middle of their research, they found a local lizard known as parentee, which may have been mistaken for a Burren. Kimoon. Described as an animal very similar to Therizinosaurus, Kimoon has been seen numerous times in Papua New Guinea and neighboring islands. This creature is about 10 meters long, has a long tail and neck. It walks on 2 legs and has a turtle-like head. Such have been the stories about it that many people have been given the task of investigating whether they're true or not. One of these researchers was Brian Irwin, who interviewed a young man from Mboogie Island, Robert, who reported seeing the Kimoon between 2005 and 2006. He said that one day during the last hours of the afternoon, he saw a creature with the characteristics described above. It looked fearful and was about 50 meters away, eating some of the vegetation. When it finished eating, it walked into the water on its 2 legs. It is important to note that since the 90s, every 4 or 5 years there have been reported sightings of Kimoon. Most of them on Mboogie Island, during the night shifts and for the Christmas season. Hence the creature is believed to have nocturnal habits. Gazecki. Gazecki moncton is a creature whose sightings have been recorded in British New Guinea. Its legend began in 1910 and owes its name to the explorer C.A. Monckton, who found its footprints on Mount Albert Edward. The description made of this creature suggests a resemblance to the protodon, the largest marsupial that ever existed. The story goes that Monckton saved a pygmy people from being attacked by a Gazecki. To do so, he shot the creature, whose height was about 7 meters. 2 bullets hit the animal, which immediately fled without the explorer being able to chase it. Manny Pogo. Many centuries ago, in the interior of Lake Manitoba in Canada, a creature called Manny Pogo was seen. It is an animal with a long neck and apparently with characteristics very similar to a dinosaur. These sightings were documented from 1909 onwards. In September of that year, a merchant claimed to have seen the enormous creature. Later, in 1935, a wood inspector and his friend reported the sighting of a dinosaur-like monster. Another who saw the creature was a man in 1948, who claimed to see an animal whose neck of almost 2 meters protruded from the water and emitted several roars. Much later, in 2004, a fisherman claimed that his nets had been bitten. And I have no hesitation in holding the Manny Pogo responsible. Old West Velociraptors. The Velociraptor is one of the most known and fearsome dinosaurs of prehistoric times. This is due to its ferocity and speed. But you will not believe that today there are some stories of Velociraptor-like creatures that have been seen in the western part of the United States. In 1993, a woman claimed to have seen tall, grey, lizard-like creatures at least 3 times in her life. Her first encounter was in May 1935, when she saw 5 of the creatures near Pagosa Springs, Colorado, where there are even several photographs that supposedly show live American dinosaurs. One of the best known is this photo, which shows a young man with a rifle holding what appears to be the corpse of a baby dinosaur he supposedly shot.